What's up, guys? If you paid attention to the story so far in Honkai Star Rail, you'd probably recognize this character, Aventurine. Guess what? He is playable now, and I'm going to be talking about what he does and how I think I would play him, with some example showcases. This video won't cover everything, but with the info I'm providing, you should be fine. If there is anything important I missed, I'll leave it in a pinned comment. First, I'm going to be talking about Aventurine's traces. If you want a quick summary of what he does, Aventurine is a support that can increase the team's survivability through making shields, and increasing allies' defense and FRES. He can also provide a bit of offensive utility through his follow-up attacks and applying debuffs. Alright, first, we'll talk about his technique. It increases everyone's defense by a random value. There are 3 possible values that you can get, and I think the middle value is the most common, and the highest one is the rarest. I don't know the exact probabilities, but the highest one is extremely rare. And honestly, even if you get the lowest value, you already have increased survivability. Hoyoverse could have made the lowest value punishing your team, like a team-wide defense break, but they didn't. Next is his skill. He just gives a shield that scales off his defense to everyone. You actually get this shield at the start of the battle through one of his bonus abilities, which is pretty nice. And this shield is also stackable, so you can cast his skill, and the shield from the start of the battle and the shield from the skill will combine. But there is a max limit of the shield, which is 200%. Next is his talent, which is the most interesting part of his kit. The first part of his talent is you get extra FRES if you're protected by Aventurine's shield. The second part is that he can launch a follow-up attack if he gets 7 stacks. Here are the ways you can get stacks. If an ally is attacked, he gets 1 stack. If Aventurine himself is attacked, he gets 2 stacks. If an ally protected by his shield does a follow-up attack, he also gets 1 stack. When he gets 7 stacks, he launches his own follow-up attack. The damage is okay, but it will definitely add up in a long boss fight. The attack also gives the team a shield, although it is not as big as the one you cast with his skill. Finally, his ultimate. Much like his character and this game, it's a gacha based ultimate, where he increases his stacks by a random amount from 1 through 7. It also does single target damage to an enemy and applies a debuff where they take more critical damage from attacks. Most of his bonus abilities I've already covered in his skill and talent, but he has one more, which is that his crit rate is increased by 2% for every 100 extra defense he gets that is above 1600, and it has a cap at 48%. So if you want the maximum crit rate from this bonus ability, you will need 4000 defense. So, armed with this information, how do we build him? In my opinion, you should aim for 4000 defense first, at least 134 speed, then focus the rest into crit rate and crit damage. Keep in mind, just like almost every DPS, you want a 1-to-2 crit ratio. Do not give him attack percent, because all of his damage skills scale off defense. I'd probably get a speed boot, defense rope, crit damage, or defense chest, and a defense orb for his main stats. But you could get an imaginary damage percent orb with a defense chest if you want. For his sets, he's very versatile. You can use 4-piece Knight of Purity Palace, or you can mix and match 2-piece sets, getting stats such as speed, defense, and follow-up attack damage. If you want to maximize his damage, the 4-piece Pioneer Diver set is best for him. For planar sets, you can get the Bellowbog one to get more defense, or the Salsodo set for more personal damage. You can also get the Broken Keel set to further boost your allies' damage. For light cones, don't think about it too much. His signature is obviously the best. But if you don't have that, or can't get it, I think the new Concert for 2 light cone, or Japard's light cone, is also pretty good. If you can't get either of those, just find any Lycone that gives him defense, such as Trend of the Universal Market. Another notable 4-star Lycone for him is Destiny's Threads Forewoven, which is nice for his personal damage. So here I'm going to showcase 2 teams that I find pretty fun with him, but you can use him in a lot of other places. This team uses a lot of follow-up characters, so Aventurine can get stacks very fast. So use characters like Dr. Ratio, Topaz, Herta, or Himeko all work pretty nicely. Here is an example showcase. Since his ultimate applies a debuff, where enemies take more crit damage, he can also be used in an Acheron team, such as this one where I use Aventurine, Pella, Sparkle, and Acheron. But this team comp is for E2 Acheron or higher. For non-E2 Acheron, you need to use double Nihility, so Sparkle will be replaced with Silverwolf. If you don't have her, Guinevere will be your free-to-play option. If you play Acheron a lot, he might be worth getting. In my opinion, he already has a complete kit at E0, and his Eidolons are just nice bonuses. For example, if your DPS needs some additional damage, you can pull for his E1, where your teammates can get 20% crit damage if you're protected by a shield. If you really like Acheron, you can pull his E2 for his all-type resistance shred, which is very strong for her. The rest of his Eidolons are more for his own personal damage and support capability. They are pretty good. If you really like him, then you might as well just E6 him. Alright, so that's what I think about Aventurine. If you're a new player and you're thinking of getting him, you actually have a better chance than you think. If you haven't yet, there's a mail that was sent a few months ago that gives 1600 Stellar Jades. And currently, this game has an anniversary event. If you log in for 7 days, you can get 20 free pulls. Anyway, that's all. Let me know in the comments what you think, and I should make more videos like this. See ya.